Over the course of my life, I've encountered discoveries and ideas that changed how I understand the universe around us. I'd like to share that journey with you. Come walk with me. When I was in high school, I had to write a paper for an English class. I chose to write about the Michelson-Morley experiment. My teacher called me to his desk, flipped through the pages, shook his head, marked the paper with an A, and handed it back. A few years later, after 4 years in the armed forces and after returning from Vietnam, I started college as a freshman studying physics. And once again, in an English class, I had to write a paper. This time, I chose continental drift. My professor asked me to come to his office. He thought I was saying the continents floated on the oceans. I explained that wasn't quite what I meant. He listened, shook his head, marked the paper with an A, and handed it back. I did not know it then, but continental drift would become one of those ideas I carried with me for the rest of my life. Because this is not just a story about moving continents. It is a story about how Earth became the kind of planet where climates changed, ecosystems shifted, and new evolutionary possibilities opened. If we are going to understand the origins of the human species, we first have to understand the world that made that story possible. And that world begins with a simple observation. The continents look as if they once fit together. Welcome to Season 3 of Come Walk With Me, Continental Drift. When we look at the Earth today, it appears almost timeless, but appearances can be deceptive. For centuries, people noticed something curious. The continents bordering the Atlantic Ocean seemed to fit together, like pieces of an enormous jigsaw puzzle. Was it simply coincidence? Or was the Earth trying to tell us something? The resemblance between the continents had been noticed for centuries. But noticing a pattern is not the same as explaining it. In the early 20th century, a German scientist named Alfred Wegener began looking at the evidence. And he looked far beyond the shapes of the continents. One of the clues came from something that could not move across an ocean. Fossils. The remains of the same ancient plants and animals were being found on continents separated by thousands of miles of open water. And not just one species. The pattern repeated again and again, and the fossils were only one line of evidence. Wegener kept looking at rocks, at mountain ranges, at the ancient traces of climates that seemed to be in all the wrong places. Each line of inquiry pointed toward the same remarkable possibility. But that is where we will pick up our walk next time.